distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and above all, the survivors and their families who are here with us today. This is the first Holocaust Remembrance Day without the man who implored the world never to forget. Elie Wiesel's gentle voice and towering conscience are no longer here to remind us, to teach us, to challenge us, and to inspire us. But his powerful words remain with us. Perhaps the most powerful of all was his insight that the opposite of love is not hate, but indifference. Like so much else during the Holocaust, words like love, hate, and indifference took on a sharper meaning. The Holocaust laid bare the unimaginable hatred of Hitler, Himmler, Eichmann, and all those who ordered, planned, and carried out the final solution. It unleashed the horrors of the gas chambers, the cruelty of Mengele, and the bloodlust of willing executioners who filled mass graves across Europe. But the Holocaust also revealed how deep the love of a parent, a child, a brother, a sister, a friend, a neighbor, and even a stranger could be. There was a Schindler, a Wallenberg, a Sugihara, and a Contreras. There was American prisoner of war, Master Sergeant Roddy Edmonds, who in a single moment of courageous defiance saved 200 Jewish American soldiers. And there were thousands more righteous among the nations who risked their lives to save Jews. The Holocaust also gave new meaning to the word indifference. In 1944, Jewish leaders pleaded with the Allied powers to bomb the tracks to the death camps, at a time when as many as 10,000 Jews were being gassed to death every day in Auschwitz. A US official infamously responded that such bombing, quote, might provoke even more vindictive action by the Germans. Allied leaders knew of the Holocaust as early as 1942. Millions might have been saved had action been taken sooner, but action wasn't taken. The brave American soldiers who liberated Buchenwald, Dachau, and other concentration camps saved many thousands, but they arrived too late for many millions. Ladies and gentlemen, much is unique about the Holocaust. The Holocaust is unique because all Jews were targeted for extermination, and because that extermination was systematically planned and methodically executed. The Holocaust is unique because this extermination was an end in itself and not merely a means to an end. And the Holocaust is unique because of the unique hatred that it unleashed, a hatred towards Jews that has proven so malleable and resilient across the ages and around the globe. But one thing that is not unique about the Holocaust was the world's indifference to suffering. A world that turned its back on the Jews has also turned its back on many others. A world that promised never again to sit idly by, sat idly by in Cambodia, in Rwanda, in Sudan, and elsewhere. History shows that indifference has been the exception, not the rule. The exceptions have been the decisions like the one President Trump made to respond to a chemical attack by the Assad regime against innocent men, women, and children. That decision was a defiance of indifference. And if evil triumphs when good men do nothing, we should all seek to live in a world that defies indifference. Those contemplating evil should know that they will face more than the soft power of self-righteous condemnations and feel-good hashtags. They should know that they will face the hard power of a civilized world prepared to use military might to confront barbarism. To those who argue that such action will not solve complicated problems, there is a simple answer. The fact that we could not do everything is not an argument for doing nothing. Or, as a sage of my people said long ago, while it is not our responsibility to finish the work, we are not free to desist from that work either. Ladies and gentlemen, for the Jewish people, the indifference of the world during the Holocaust must never be forgotten. We must remember that 75 years ago, we were a stateless and powerless people who begged in vain for presidents and prime ministers to come to our rescue. We must remember that as the Jews of Europe were being cast into ovens, those fleeing the flames had no refuge. We must remember that 1.5 million Jewish children were murdered in an indifferent world. The Jewish people must always remember, for then we will better appreciate the meaning of Israel, the country I am privileged to represent here today. On Holocaust Remembrance Day, more than any other day, Israel is the Jewish people's defiance of an indifferent world. For 2,000 years, we prayed and dreamed to return to our homeland, restore our sovereignty, and rebuild Jerusalem. We kept that dream alive despite history throwing our way every evil under the sun. And over a half-century before the Holocaust, one force that propelled modern Zionism was a determination to make that dream a reality in a world indifferent to anti-Semitism. The Holocaust, ladies and gentlemen, turned that determination into a sacred mission to defy the world's indifference, establish a Jewish state, and secure the Jewish future. For 69 years, Israel has defied the world's indifference by gathering our exiles from the four corners of the earth, by transforming a barren land into a global technological power, and by building a vibrant democracy that stands as a beacon of freedom, decency, and compassion in a dark and cruel region. But above all, Israel has defied the world's indifference by transforming a powerless people marked for annihilation into a sovereign nation capable of defending itself. So today, let us remember the love, the hate, and the indifference. Let us heed the words of Leviticus, Lo ta'amod al dam re'echa. Do not stand idly by the blood of thy neighbor. Let us work for a world that defies indifference. And may Israel continue to defy indifference. On this day, above all days, Israel pledges to continue to stand strong and proud, remembering the past, grateful for the present, and more determined than ever to build a brilliant future. Yehi zichram baruch. May the memory of the 6 million be blessed.